Okay, I'm going to stop there before it gets too crazy. So um, I'm just going to show you what my setup is. I'm playing the drums on the circuit tracks using a Roland electronic drum pad, PD8 drum pad, plugged into an electronic drum brain, the TD7 here, which is under my desk. The drum trigger, the drum pad triggers a snare drum in the TD7. And that sends out a MIDI signal, a MIDI note to the circuit tracks to tell it to play one of the drums. Which drum part it plays, 1, 2, 3, or 4, depends on what kit is selected in the TD7. And I'm changing kits using my Akai LPD8. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So if I play drum 1, you'll hear the kick. Let me turn everything up again. If I play drum 1, you'll hear the kick, which is here. Drum 2, snare. Drum 3, a perk sound. What's playing on the pad is whatever is selected here when the sequencer is stopped. When the sequencer is playing, what plays on the pad is whatever sound, whatever note last sounded. Whatever sound last sounded, whatever note. Yeah, so you know what I'm saying. So what that means is if I want to record 2 different drum sounds into the circuit tracks on one drum track, so something like, I can do that finger drumming. Let me get a new pattern, empty pattern here. Okay, and turn everything else off. Yeah, that's cool. But if I'm doing it on the pad, watch what happens. So I'm going to play the kick part first, and then I'm going to move to the thing, whatever that thing is. Okay, so watch this. Let me do it again. See, that didn't work. The one that did go in, this one, was because I selected that part, and the act of selecting it caused it to put a note into the sequencer. But the other parts that I played turned out to be kick drums. In fact, they will be whatever is selected here. So that is the longest way in the world of saying that I'm unable to record two different drum sounds into one drum part using my external pad. But that's okay. I can record kick drum in one, snare drum in drum one, snare drum in drum two, percussion in drum three, that kind of thing. I do have a special case for drum four, and let me play it. So drum four is not a drum sound. Let me get rid of some of the effects here. Okay, so drum four kind of sounds like some kind of a perk. So let's have a listen. But it's not actually a perk sound. It is a whole series of chord stabs. And I've turned down the length. And I've turned down the pitch. So if I put the pitch back up to normal, so let's have a listen to this now. So that sequence there runs through lots of different sounds in one pattern, but I'm not going to use that sequence. It's pretty mental. So I'm going to mute the track. And the trick with the circuit is when you mute a part, you can still play it over MIDI and still hear it. It just means that the sequence that's programmed in there doesn't play. Remember that the last sound played is the one that I hear on the pad. Well, that's what I'm going to use this sequence for. So have a listen. So it's a way of changing what sound is playing on the one pad all the time. I've programmed the changes into the sequence. So let's do that from scratch. I'm going to take an empty pattern, and I'm just going to put a different sound on each of these parts. In fact, I'm just going to choose four sounds, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Let's find. I put that on the first. Second. Fourth. And there. So let me turn down the decay, and we'll just have a listen to this part on its own. That's actually pretty cool. Maybe it sounds good. Yeah, I think what I'm going to do is duplicate so that this pattern is 32 steps long. And then I'm going to record some automation over it. So I'm going to move the decay knob as the pattern plays and record that. I'm going to move the distortion knob as the pattern plays and record that. And the same thing with the filter knob. And then I think maybe I can record some effects into it. So let's have a go. Okay, so that's pretty crazy. Let's have a listen to it on its own. So the length of the sample, the distortion on the sample, the filter setting, and the reverb and delay are constantly changing during this. What I'm going to do is mute the track and play everything else. And if I play my pad, you'll hear whatever the last note, the last sound played in this track was. So if I unmute it and mute it again really quickly, the sound on the pad will change. So let's go. Oops, muted myself. Yeah, sort of works. It's not perfect, but it's a very nice way of being able to play the drum parts into circuit tracks with your hands or with sticks, which I quite enjoy. So thanks for watching this. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, any ideas, any experiments you'd like me to try, I'm going to be putting lots of experiments with the circuit tracks up on my video as I do them. This is one of them. So if you enjoyed this, give me a like and subscribe. And hopefully we will talk to you sometime soon. Take care. Cheers.